Actually, yung committee po, as the discussion in the committee progresses, kung may mga topics po na nagpa-pop up along the way, na germane naman po, well connected with the concern of the committee, I think ma-include po yun sa discussion. Kasi that's how the committee members would really appreciate kung ano, kumbaga parang we will not leave any stone unturned, no? So I think being one of the vice chair ng Committee on National Defense, ako mismo I will personally request my co-members in the committee and the chair that if there are concerns, issues that may arise while we are conducting the committee hearing, I think it is proper also that we would include that as one of the main topics to discuss.
Thank you. Last two questions from Mela Lismoras of PTB4 and Romer Butuyan. Mela?
Hi, good morning po, Kongs. This weekend, through a statement, sinabi ni Speaker Romualdez na maglulunsad muli ng bagong Pilipinas Service Fair sa 3 more provinces in Mindanao, specifically sa Zamboanga City, Tawi-Tawi, and Davao del Norte. Kayo po, ano pong komento nyo rito, lalo pat hindi pa rin tumitigil yung ibang kritiko na sinasabi na pinapabayaan umano yung Mindanao, and specifically kay Kong Adjong lang, ano rin po yung komento nyo dun sa paulit-ulit na komento ng ilan na pinababayaan ng administrasyon yung Mindanao?
Well, unang-una, to give you a shorter answer, hindi po totoo yun. Dahil alam po natin, ang presidente, sabi ko nga kanina, nung umpisa po siyang nangampanya, nung 2022, ang kanyang pong slogan talaga ay unity, no? Alam po natin ang importance ng Mindanao para sa administrasyon na ito. Nagkaroon na po actually, no? Nagkaroon na po ng bagong Pilipinas fair, no? Diyan sa Bukidnon. In fact, we started in Sultan Kudarat, sa Davao de Oro, sa Bukidnon, and sa Agusan. Agusan del Sur ba yun? Del Norte. So, niya po nagpapakita na ang presidente naniniwala na hindi. In fact, may schedule po on Thursday sa Zamboanga, and the first would be in the Barm in Tawi-Tawi. So, nakita po natin yung how the president actualizes the promise that he mentioned during the campaign, and how he will keep that promise up until the end of his term. From the farther northern part of Luzon to the southern tip of the Philippines, nakita po natin napuntahan niyang Luzon at pupuntahan niya po ang Tawi-Tawi, that's the farthest island in the Philippines, closer to our neighbor in Borneo. So hindi po totoo sa ako being a Mindanaoan, hindi po totoo dahil nakita po natin apart from all these social services, yung kanyang priority in terms of infrastructure. In fact, ang magkakaroon na nga po ng nag-opening or nagkaroon na po ng groundbreaking yung one of the longest bridges in the country that would be connecting Lanao del Norte in Osamis City to provide and make it easier for the commuters and for transportation of goods, for the inland trading, exchanges of goods between and among provinces in Mindanao. Nakita po natin yan during this term, in first year po ng kanyang term. Yung pagbibigay po ng mga ayuda tuloy-tuloy apart from the infrastructure, yung pagbibigay po ng kanyang suporta sa Mindanao in terms of putting primacy on the peace process. Nakita po natin yung result ng peace process nung umupo siya. Sabi po niya, he will make sure that the government will respect the result of the peace process. He maintains that Mindanao as part of its vibrant democracy and selection of leaders. He will make sure that in 2025 we will respect the right of the people to elect their choice of leaders. In 2025, come BARM election, that will be the first election. At saka yung nasabi ko po kanina, yung kanyang pagbibigay primacy sa rehabilitation ng Marawi. Dahil ito po ay medyo nawawala na sa consciousness ng mga tao dahil for the past 6 years hindi pa po tapos ang rehabilitation. Ginawa po niya is i-amend po niya ang administrative order to make sure that na-streamline yung lahat ng mga assistance galing from the national government. Ano yung mga gaps na hindi naibibigay sa Marawi? Ano yung mga pangangailangan pa in terms of rehabilitation and the compensation packages para sa Marawi. So makikita po natin in all concerns, no? Apart from yung serbisyo fare. Nakita din po natin yung mga underlying gaps na hindi pa po nasusolve in terms of peace process which basically benefit not only Mindanao but the whole of the country ay binibigyan po niya ng pansin. So I don't think it's fair to say that the President is actually neglecting Mindanao. In fact, that's part of his part of his priority at nakita na nga po natin ang kanyang Vice Presidente taga Mindanao. So that's a very clear and indicative sign that the President really puts Mindanao part of this of his priority during ito pong term niya. So nakita po natin yan. And we are very thankful for the President for giving importance to the peace process dahil yan po ang kailangan ng Mindanao para matapos na po yung sinasabi po nating armed conflict at it will bear fruit positively on the communities that are being left behind, which communities mostly are from Muslim Mindanao.
Gusto ko lang dagdagan din yung sinabi ni Congressman. Actually, ang City of Manila po, we did not support President Bongbong Marcos during the last election. But even though nasa opposite side po kami, hindi rin po pinabayaan ang City of Manila. In fact, isa po kami sa mga unang nakinabang dito po sa card na ibinaba po ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, ang aming pong timon o namumuno po dito po sa Kongreso. So makikita po natin si President Bongbong at saka si Speaker Martin Romualdez wala pong tinitignan. Tapos na po yung eleksyon. Ang tinitignan po nila yung kapakanan po nung mas nakararami, lalong-lalo na po ng mga mahihirap. Maraming salamat po.
Dagdag ko lang dun sa nabanggit ng dalawa kong kasamahan. So I've been to siguro mga 4 na BPSF, Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair, at hindi bababa sa 1 bilyong piso worth of various programs and projects yung na i-implement ng mga national government agencies and national government departments to various programs and projects such as yung tulad ng binanggit ni Kong Jolo, yung CARD, assistance for rice farmers, nandyan po yung CBOL, assistance to young entrepreneurs, nandyan yung ISIP, assistance to students for their scholarship program, nandyan yung AX, nandyan yung TUPAD, nandyan yung Department of Agriculture, nandyan yung farm, which is actually such a wonderful innovation for our rice-producing farmers that they're able to sell directly to the NFA. So all these programs are being flooded to specific provinces and regions in all areas of our country. At nung tinitingnan ko nga yung schedule, kaya hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit nasasabi ng ating mga kaibigan sa Mindanao na medyo napapabayaan daw. Because the last few ones that I went to, overwhelming nga yung support ng mga congressman sa Mindanao eh. Sa isa sa pinuntahan namin, mahigit sa 60 ang nandun. Yung isang pinuntahan namin, I think 80 congressmen were there. Not to mention the support given by the different governors and mayors to the Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair. And based on the schedule that I have on hand, we visited Sultan Kudarat, we visited Agusan del Norte, tapos na rin po yung Bukidnon. This week will be Zamboanga City. Pagkatapos po nun, Tawi-Tawi, Davao del Norte. So all of these will be done in Mindanao. So this is just to show that doon sa binitawang pangako ng ating Pangulo na walang maiiwan, talagang pinakikita niyang walang maiiwan. At lahat ng serbisyo at programa ng ating pamahalaan ay mararamdaman ng lahat na nangangailangan.
Another topic lang po, isang panibagong order din ni Pangulong Marcos, yung Executive Order number 59 na nag-uutos na mas streamline yung permits processes para sa 185 infra flagship projects sa bansa. Any comment po dito? Kasi inaasahan din, syempre after naman tong mga tag-init, tag-ulan na naman, at inaasahan yung mga infra flagship projects na ito ay makatutulong din sa bansa para dito nga sa panahon ng tag-ulan and even sa iba pang pagkakataon, even sa economy natin. Ano pong masasabi niyo dito?
I think this only emphasizes the sense of urgency the President has given when it comes to development. Alam niya kasi na iilang taon na lang ang natitira sa kanyang administrasyon. In fact, bilang niya po yung araw kung ilan na lang ang natitira at wala siyang araw na gustong maaksaya pagdating sa mga proyektong gustong niyang maipatupad na alam niyang may kinalaman sa pagbabago at pag-unlad ng ating bansa. Ito din po yung dahilan kung bakit siguro inilabas niya yung bagong executive order just so that we can do away with unnecessary government requirements, redundancy in documentation, just so that we can find these projects being implemented in the soonest possible time. Dahil may national significance po talaga ito that will lead us towards our goal when it comes to being a middle income status nation by 2025. So I fully support the order issued by the President, and I do hope in the soonest possible time makagawa na po ng mga processes ang ating mga ahensya at ang ating mga local governments to comply with the directive of our President.